Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Rovi, and MScribe, and today we're going to be talking about cult coins.
Cult fashion, dude. Cults in general.
Black hoods.
Yeah, what else is cult symbology? Candles?
Candles, yes.
Godlike
Robes.
gods.
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah.
Syringes. Desolate jungle islands, right?
That's
Stuff
right.
Like that. Yeah, impending government intervention. So we're describing Jonestown, if you didn't know. But we're talking a crypto cult, right? Something a little bit.
Yeah. After we're done with this video, you guys are going to be drinking the Kool-Aid after this. Watch.
Or at least that's the hope of cult coiners out there, right? Because, yeah. So what is the thesis of cults, right? I remember Murad talking a lot about this.
Yes.
Right? It's like you don't need utility or fundamentals in crypto anymore. You simply, for an actual retail phenomena of a meme coin super cycle to emerge, all you need are cults. Because that's like the holy grail of meme coinery, right?
Yeah, you just got to believe in something.
Believe in something and form those religious affinities to these digital creations, right?
Yeah.
Because of the void of community, the void of purpose.
Feeling a part of something.
Yeah, like technology and just societal structures are eroding that aspect of our humanity.
Yeah, and the crypto community has figured out a way to tokenize all of that.
To recapture the magic and deliver it to us in tokenized formats,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool. I could vibe with that thesis.
Not only do you vibe with it, but there's a large population of the crypto community that vibes with it as well.
Yeah, and they're trying to formulate the perfect, mechanism, I guess, to foster that. For the longest time, it was meme coins, pump coins, right? You put out a neat idea out there, a neat ticker, some sort of imagery around it, and you could form a pretty cult-like community around that, right? Fart coin.
Yeah.
I think that's semi-cultish, I guess. I don't know what you do as a cult around fart coin other than, try and convince people that farts are
A real thing, dude.
it's a very valuable thing. Farts, right? There's substance to this air, But yeah, now we got something new, and we're gonna explain why there's a lot of new things that seem to be emerging, right? It seems like a bi-weekly thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start to analyze, the current state of things, a new meta attempt typically emerges, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, the whole internet capital market thing with Believe and Launchcoin. Prior to that was Boop, which was also a cult-like narrative, form more cults, but a little bit more of a incentivized flywheel design.
Yeah, with its own base token.
Correct. And then before that, there were
AI agents.
Yeah, we got AI agents, other different formulations, right, of trying to cultivate community. So, introducing.
Yeah, here we go. Cult.fun.
Cult.fun. Yeah.
Cult coins are the new NFTs. Cult coins equal liquidity of coins and the community of NFTs.
That's music to our ears, dude. If you've been paying attention to our podcast, we've been kind of championing the same mission, right?
Yeah.
Or at least the discoverable attempt. How do we marry NFTs, which is a historically very non-liquid asset, but a super powerful vehicle for doing exactly what we just described, cultivating community.
Yeah, so NFTs is essentially a meme, but with identity.
Yeah,
with unique identity.
Yeah, if you still maintain your
Individual.
presence of individuality within the cult, as opposed to memes. We're all collectively part of this cult mission and ethos, but all we are is numbers on the screen, right?
Correct.
We've been reduced to
It's like an army where the whole army is basically the same unit.
Yeah, we've been reduced to fuel units. Each of us can only do so much, but if we happen to have more social influence, then we're greater fuel, right?
Yeah.
We're a full tank of gas over here. Some others out here, 0 followers on X. They're just droplets of gasoline.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's happening. So can we marry the two, right?
Yeah. So Solana is in full support. Cults is a consumer crypto app using AI to create personalized avatars for viral community building. So it's powered, of course, by the Solana blockchain.
Yeah, so Solana doesn't typically, I think, endorse things very often. So I think once this tweet came out, it kind of injected a sentiment of seriousness to this. Again, this attempt at creating a new market meta, right? So that's what kind of inspired us to look a little bit deeper. It's like, all right, is there something to this? Right?
Yeah, correct. So Cults.fun, they have a manifesto here.
Yeah, it's called a white paper on their website, but yeah, this definitely feels has the look and feel of a manifesto, not a white paper. Yeah.
All right, so there's abstract, they're cult members. So it's basically an outline of how to launch a cult and then be a cult leader.
Yeah, and a little bit like on the distribution logic of how things are done a little bit more differently, right? It's much more like the interface is on the social layer, not so much like these graphs and these trading interfaces that we're kind of used to.
Yeah.
It's like, let's find virality and the cult attempt on social media feeds, right?
Yeah, so basically you tweet out some sort of action, and then you get your followers to retweet and reply to that action, and all of a sudden each reply would get like an image, an individualized image.
Yeah, and I'm thinking also, so the tokenomics like breakdown isn't very clear to this, but I'm imagining it's also like a token emission scheme, right? Where like part of the token allocation goes to people who are essentially publicly, what's the word?
Aligning with the cult.
Yeah, but there's like a word to that, right? Like
drinking the Kool-Aid?
Like if you're trying to become a blood or a crip, on the streets. It's like,
I know what word you're. It's like initialization. It's
kind of, yeah. Well, that's like the process of getting into the cult, right? Or the gang. It's like you got to get initiated in. Yeah, I guess that's it. Publicly initiating.
Yeah.
It's like that's what's happening, right? If you're responding to one of these cults on Twitter, everybody sees it.
Yeah.
And by replying, you get issued
a blue or red bandana.
That's right. You're publicly now like marked for you got ops, guys.
Right.
Just in case you don't want ops in your life, you might not want to join one of these things.
Right.
But that's the newness here, right? Is they're weaponizing AI, I guess, creation to sling out that individuality.
Yeah. So here's just some examples of what the individual I guess PFPs look like
for the cult. So this is like the first one, right? I mean, they look like any other PFP, right? Like they look like Azukis in a sense.
Yeah, a little bit like it. Yeah,
the same character.
That
looks like a grail to me, dude.
Yeah.
If you got that one, okay,
that
another grail. I guess that just looks like a regular person. These are not grails. These are.
It's like the regulars.
Yeah, they're regular schmegulars, dude. These guys hold no cult power, I guess. So that's cool. They're injecting some of the the culture of NFT into the meme spawning process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
like a snake, dude.
Yeah. Now you have like a little bit of like a randomization of, again, not just individuality, potentially even rarity here. I don't know. Depends how this AI is operating, right, to generate these images.
Yeah. So this is the first launch, right? It was the actual team.
Yeah, but they opened it up to, I think, public utilization today, right? So
yeah. So right now, Elon and Trump are having a little battle
scuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sad day. If you're like if you held any belief that Elon was gonna have any like positive impact on I guess the status quo of politics in the first world environment.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Yeah, not even like a ripple.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, so that's playing out in real time. Very sad news.
Yeah, so bored Elon Musk is taking advantage of that, launched Ragecoin, and this is the image. And
yeah, so if you want to understand how, just look at the comments. Like, just click on one. All you got to do is reply with rage, and boom, you got your. Oh, wow, it didn't really render very good, did it?
Yeah.
His hair is like.
It's all over the place.
Piercing through his hat. Okay. Mariachi version? Or is that like a conquistador? I don't know. That was something.
That one's not rendering.
It's currently in delivery process, I guess. That looks like
with a mustache.
It's like porn star Elon Musk. 70s porn star. Whoa, dude, that's Tony Soprano.
That's interesting.
That's pretty cool. I would like that one. Okay, well, we get the gist.
Yeah.
Right. So this is essentially what it is. It's the incorporation of PFP, like the ethos of that, to launching a new meme coin. Right.
Yeah. And all right, let's see. And this comes from .fun Labs.
Yeah. So I was wondering, like, who the hell is coming up with this stuff? Right. Found out that they have probably like the best domain name
In the whole universe?
possibly ever in the context of like what's happening this cycle. dot fun. It's pretty good, right?
.fun.
I mean, this is the .fun cycle so far.
So far, yeah. I mean, the volume proves it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more about Pump.fun on our podcast this weekend. So if you want to like know our take on things,
Yeah, there's a lot to
in.
discuss.
I would say so, because if you've been paying attention to our channel, we initially started as like faders to this whole thing, like what's happening in the crypto space in context of like meme takeover, pumponomics, Pump.fun, virality, all that shit, right? Initially, we're like, man, this is just like,
Yeah.
this is just noise.
It's no different than when you're first introduced to Bitcoin, you automatically fade it.
Right. But here we are about a year later into like this whole experimental flywheel. And yeah, we're definitely seeing things through a different lens. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. So now going back to .fun here, and here's the website, and these are all the things that they've launched on the .fun train.
yeah, so it's good for the due diligence process to make sure your, founders have some history to them, right? It's, if they've been around for X amount of time and they've shown some effort in the past, they didn't just spawn up out of nowhere under anon identities. It's much more riskier to get involved in those type of scenarios, right?
Yeah. And here's Cult.fun website. So this is just a pretty simple interface. There's no charts or anything. Then you launch tokens on Twitter, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah, so here's the one we just showed. This is board Elon Musk, his cult.
Yeah, buy
So
and sell.
there's an interesting way they sort this leaderboard. I think, so cult leaders, I think you get onto that leaderboard. Oh, can you go back? Yeah, because there's cult leaders and then there's cult members, right? Cult leaders, I think, are people who've like brought others into the cult, right? So you have to like, it's kind of like a hierarchy, right? Like,
Oh, I see.
people have to like reply to you, I guess, to be regarded as a leader. But a member is just simply somebody who's been allocated.
So you don't think a leader is the guy who launched the token?
No, because go to cults, like the #1 token here.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. So
Just go to trending. Yeah, cults.
one,
I mean, there's many
all
cult
the-
leaders
all
here.
the leaders, yeah.
Does it say how many members they've recruited? Let me see. It does.
Yeah, so 3,200, 200.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the initiation process is. Do they like jump these people in? I doubt it. That would be kind of cool though. Just like a jumping process. Maybe this is like the metaverse integration to all of this. It's like you got to come in and like actually fight. You know?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that mechanic.
Yeah. So this is it. This is the look at that, all the PFP. So this is all AI generated, but there is something I think missing here, right? And
Yeah.
and it could be maybe I'm not seeing it, but an actual NFT delivery
Yeah, correct.
for these assets. I think that's not. I don't think, based on what I'm seeing, people are receiving an actual NFT.
No, no. Yeah, NFTs on Solana, they come differently, right? Each NFT has to have rent space on the Solana blockchain, and so each rent space costs a certain amount of SOL.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe that's a future integration, or maybe we just completely missed it. I don't know. You guys in the comments let us know if you have interfaced with this platform and you joined a cult. Did you receive an NFT of your PFP? If not, I think that is a little bit of a missed opportunity, right? But like you're saying, maybe there's a technical reason behind that, or some sort of like economic, what's the word?
Yeah, it's like resistance, economic resistance.
Yeah,
to
viability, right?
Yeah.
It's just hard to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so Cults clearly has a token. It's run up to almost 4 million here, and right now it's at 1 million.
Pretty cheap, pretty low valuation. So that big green second one was, I think, that Solana, like
Oh, the Solana tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here it is finding its footing. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult to like try and create something unique in this like launch environment, right? But like we've seen, here's a nice little list of like launch platforms.
Yeah, launch pads. You can find this on Jupiter, and here's Cults with almost a 1% market share.
Yeah, so this is like forming now, right? There's not that many launch pads yet, but because of how we understand things, you know, Raydium has their SDK now. Meteora has their SDK. There's Launchcoin, if you want like a comparison. Launchcoin was number 2 on that list, right?
Yeah.
Or Believe, the platform Believe was number 2. So is there potential for this to be, you know, a new competitor to Launchcoin? I don't know. They're completely separate like demographics, right?
Yeah.
Believe is targeting actual app development.
Yeah, and sustaining the creator.
Right. This is just simply like the purism of a meme, but with the addition of like, again, NFT culture to them. So.
Yeah, correct.
But we think a missing ingredient is the actual NFT itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I feel like in order for it to make sense, if you're going to be delivering images, they have to come in the form of NFTs.
Yeah, I think so. But nonetheless, it's worth keeping an eye on because, I mean, I feel like they could at any moment just flip that switch and all of a sudden,
for sure.
You know, people are being delivered their NFTs, and now you've got a new speculative arena around the different PFPs that you were allocated, right? It's purely like randomized luck.
Yeah.
If I happen to be initiated and I received the Pepe cult themed PFP, I feel like that's a valuable one.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I feel like there needs to be a market for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and so finally, to support that market, Meteora is allocating $1 million to accelerate teams building on the Meteora capital markets on Solana. So not internet capital markets, but Meteora.
Good branding.
So
Good,
yeah, with Meteora's tech stack, teams skip months of development and audits. Build with us, focus on finding product market fit and driving growth.
Yeah, so you don't know, Meteora, like we just said, and Raydium, they're behind a lot of this. Why there's a lot of new attempts like hitting the market so quickly? It's because they've provided the infrastructure rails and a neat little packaging for people to kind of experiment.
Yeah, integrate their SDK into your product and launch tokens.
Without it, these, you know, dev teams would have to do all the due diligence on their own.
Yeah, smart contract auditing.
Yeah.
And then
which costs money.
Yeah.
And takes time.
Yeah.
So because of that, you have like a latent ecosystem, right? So the Solana ecosystem is doing a good job as far as fostering the right necessary ingredients to for rapid iteration to occur.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
So in other words, expect more of this in the future, and that's largely why we're fixated on this like specific niche of an ecosystem, because we feel like, you know, the what comes next is like a Cambrian explosion. Right?
Yeah, it's important to follow the money, and the money's here, right, in Solana ecosystem. That's where the majority of the volume in all of crypto is at right now.
Yeah, volume and the right tooling, right? So these are really fundamental ingredients to attract devs and to, again, see rapid project iteration. So will it be Cultcoins that captivates like, you know, the next wave? Because, you know, Pump.fun just announced $1 billion raise coming up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that more in the podcast as well.
Yeah, and so speculation in the air is they're going to use that funding plus the basically $1 billion in revenue they've already generated to fork out their own chain.
Yeah.
And basically carbon copy the Hyperliquid route.
Yeah, I think that's the right strategy.
Might be. And if that happens, they're going to leave a huge sinkhole where they first nested on Solana.
Yeah.
And that's open space for like this whole market demographic to kind of fill.
Yeah, the market, where's that list?
That's somewhere more towards the middle.
I think
more towards. Damn, dude, where is that thing? Did you like accidentally close it?
Maybe I did.
I think it's more to the right even. Let's see.
No, it's not. I lost it.
You actually accidentally closed it, dude.
Wow.
Dude, what happened to all your FPS skills, dude? I thought you had like good aim.
Yeah, so did I.
No, you don't, dude.
It's gone.
Wow. All that Halo paid for nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, you guys stay tuned for the podcast on Saturday. We're going to be talking about this stuff much deeper.
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 Dude.
deeply.
All those Rosetta Stone.
Yeah,
didn't help
right.
either, dude. You lost how to communicate.
Yeah, and if you find other podcasts that we should listen to, or other like launch pads that we should look into, definitely let us know in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.